guys, I'm Carlise, and on today's episode of Food Nerds, I'm going to show you how I make my famous vanilla cake recipe. So, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscription button below, and please hit that notification bell so you can get updates on whenever I post a new video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel. Hit that like button, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you like this video, and let me know if you want to keep seeing more recipes like this. So, let's get straight into the recipe, guys. So we're going to be making, like I said, my vanilla cake recipe, okay? And the ingredients are very, very simple. It's going to be a very quick recipe, okay? So I have my butter right here, and it's softened. And I'm going to add that straight into my mixer. And I'm also going to add in my sugar with it. Right on in there. Okay, now I'm going to lift it up. And at this point, most people don't. At this point, I like to add in my vanilla. I feel like it just mixes better within the batter when I add it in the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of vanilla right on into there. So I'm going to turn my mixer on medium-low speed. I'm going to get this mixing and incorporated. I like to let mine go for about 2 or 3 minutes just so it gets really, really light and fluffy. And once we finish mixing it up, we'll be right back. Okay guys, so I had my butter and my sugar and my vanilla going. It went for about 2 minutes until it came nice fluffy and it came a bit together. So now we're going to add in our eggs, and we're going to add them in one by one on stir mode, okay? So we're going to add this slowly, and after every 2 eggs, I like to just use my spatula, my rubber spatula, and just scrape down the bowl just to make sure everything is constantly getting incorporated, okay? So we're going to start doing that right now. Okay, so I'm going to scrape down my bowl one more time, just to make sure it's all in there well. Wipe this off on my spatula. So now here's the fun part, okay? And I get questions about this all the time when I bake cakes. How you add the milk, which is your liquid mixture, and the dry ingredients, which is your flour. So here I have milk right here, and it's room temp. All of my ingredients are at room temperature. My eggs, my butter, my milk. I let everything sit out and come to room temperature before you start baking this cake. You don't want to make a cake when your ingredients are cold. It's not going to mix right. It's not going to come together right, okay? So let's make sure it's at room temperature. So I have my milk at room temp, and I have in this bowl, I already pre-sifted my all-purpose flour, my baking soda, and my salt. Okay, so it's all in this bowl, and what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate the dry first. So we're going to do about 1/3 of the dry, we're going to do half of, some of the milk, then we're going to do more dry milk, and we're going to end with dry. So you always want to start with dry and end with dry. Okay, if you start with wet, it's not going to get incorporated well. Your mixture is going to get all sloshy. You don't want to see it. It's not a pretty sight. Okay, so we're going to start with dry, we're going to end with dry, and we're just going to alternate with the wet. So let's get started doing that right now. We added in our last bit of dry ingredients. I'm not going to overmix this batter at all. I'm just going to put it until I see most of the flour, our dry ingredients, gone. So you'll see we still have some flour on the edges, and there's probably some still built up at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to mix it with my spatula. Okay? So we're going to clean off this. Clean this right off. Wipe it on our side. You just want to get most of this cake batter off. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to get most of it off, and I'm just going to, not too much, but I just want to get the white, not the white stuff, the dry ingredients fully mixed in, okay? Scrape down the bowl while you're doing this. Make sure everything's incorporated, which it is. So now we're going to start putting it in pans. So I already have some pans right here. They're lined with wax paper, okay? And I just have them lined with wax paper. I don't spray them down or anything. They are professional non-stick baking pans. I have my oven already in the back preheated to 350, okay? So I'm gonna divide the batter evenly into these two pans. And once I divide it evenly between the two pans, I'm gonna get it in the oven, and it's gonna cook for about an hour and 15 minutes in these 9x13 size pans, okay? Now, for those who know me, you know I'm a little bit OCD and I don't like much waste. So, I like to measure out my pans using my scale. It just makes sure that I have an even amount of batter in each, okay? And that's important to me. I know for most people it isn't. They can eyeball it, but I just really like to make sure I have an even amount of batter in each pan. So I'm just gonna divide these up, okay? Now I have my cake pans, they're spread out. I'm gonna get them into my oven. Like I said, it's been preheated on 350 degrees. It's gonna take about an hour and 15 minutes to cook, but you know it's done when you have a clean toothpick inserted in the center and it comes out clean. So we'll be right back and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out the oven, guys. Hey guys, so my cakes came out the oven. Okay, I put one here already on this board, took it out the pan. This one I left in the pan. I'm just going to show you how I get it out. So I make sure I use a regular baking pan. Like I said before, only thing I put on the bottom was a little bit of parchment paper. I did not grease the sides or anything like that, okay? So I just take me a butter knife and I just stick it on the corner, run it right through the sides, okay? Run it right through. Make sure it doesn't stick, okay? And that's pretty much it. My cake, hurry it up. Yeah, I know, you're probably like, what the heck does that do? It's just something I've always done. Don't mess with my ritual, okay? So I did have a little bit of parchment paper here hanging, and I'm just gonna lift my cake right up and set it right here on this board. So now I have both my cakes right here on the boards next to each other, ready to ice, decorate, all of that. Just to avoid a question, this is my cake, like I said, straight out the pan. This one I had already taken out the pan and I already leveled it. So that's why the color's a little lighter. Once you level this cake over here and shave the top off, of course, it's gonna be the same color as this one. Just wanted to avoid a question, okay? So, thank you for baking with me today. I hope you enjoyed learning my ultimate vanilla cake recipe. Like I said, this is one that I use when I do cakes, when I have orders, stuff like that. And I'm happy to be able to share it to you here on my channel, Food Nerds. So, till next time, guys, see you soon.